So Rome is based upon authority, and that authority is based upon freedom. So in the Roman system, the highest is Caesar. Caesar is a god, a demigod. He is considered to be divine, and Caesar is the one, or Caesar's cohort is the one that puts the men in charge of different areas. Pontius Pilate was put in charge of Jerusalem because he had failed in 2 other places. And it was like his last chance or opportunity. For a Roman to fail in that would be to death. They committed suicide by honor if you failed at those things. So he's in this situation now with Jerusalem and this uprising. And he knew that the other 2 failures that he had were uprisings that he couldn't control. And the Jews knew that too. So this was all about the Jews. The Jews were always a thorn in the side of the Romans. So it was about controlling this Jewish population here in Jerusalem during this high religious event, Passover. And now all these people are from all over the place in Jerusalem. And now they're causing this uprising over this one man. So again, Pilate does what a Roman would do, because authority does that. You sit and talk to the person. You get testimony. The Senate, the Roman Senate, if you brought accusations against someone and it was proven that it was wrong, you were put to death. You're the one that was given. And we need to go back to that, especially on the internet, right? We need to go back to this kind of justice. They had a sense of justice like that. So he spoke to Christ, and again, he found no fault in him. He found that this man was a threat to the Jews, but he didn't care about that. Was this man a threat to Caesar and to Rome? No, he wasn't. He had, in fact, our Lord spoke Latin to him, which amazed him because, he was like, he spoke Latin. As you know, Pontius Pilate's wife, Claudia, was a Christian. And because of that, Pontius Pilate had a little understanding of it, but he also understood very well that if he didn't make the right choice to keep peace, then his head would be on the line, and that kind of thing too. So he was put in that bad spot within a matter of probably 6 hours, because until they arrested Jesus, none of this was brought to the Romans, right? It was only upon his arrest and now bringing up these people rising up in sedition in the street, which again is what Soros and all these people do. They pay all these people to come in and cause problems in the streets and disrupt. It's the same game, same playbook, same thing over and over and over again. But so again, Pilate's looking for a political way out of this. And there is the thing with releasing on the Passover a criminal. So he brings Barabbas, who's a murderer and a seditious murderer, but he also belongs to and for some reason is escaping what Judas Iscariot was. He belonged to a group. So did Barabbas. Barabbas was also part of that were going to overthrow the Romans and going to, establish the Jewish government through picking up arms and stuff, through sedition and rebellion. So he does this. Of course, they incite him to Pontius Pilate, not the Jews incite the crowds to call for Barabbas, which they do. So, and then that's when Pontius Pilate said, "Then what am I to do with Jesus?" And then they yell out, crucify him, right? So that is how all of that came about.